What's going on, everybody? This is Elite Killer and I'm bringing you a different kind of video. So today I'm going to bring you the review on the two control pads that I use the most. I do have more than these. I do also have a controller, mods controller, which I'll put at the front there, which is customized to myself. This is a modded controller, which is why I'm not doing a review on this. However, I don't use this controller. This is purely for decoration. But I know I said on Twitter that I was going to be doing a review video on both of these controllers. I've been using these controllers now for a long time. So I've had a good in-depth work on how I can review this and what's the pluses and what's obviously the negatives. But first of all, let's just start by saying that both of these controllers are not brand new. I'm not unboxing them. This is not an unboxing video. I've put them back in the packaging purely for the fact of the video, so you can see the packaging and what exactly comes with each controller from when you open the packets. But they are not new. I have been using them for a long time, probably about a year. But this video is long overdue and I hope you enjoy it. So first of all, we're going to start off with the Nacon Revolution Pro 2. Now this controller comes with a lot of stuff. It looks cool. It's got the Xbox design. It's very good in your hand. It's easy to remap also on the PC, but we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. But first of all, let's see what you get in the box and how it's presented. So the presentation at the start is very good. It's just a simple sleeve that you pull off, and then you can see you've got the Nacon logo emblem there, and you just basically flick up this. It's like a magnetic lid. You can feel it or hear it click. Inside is very protected, so this almost looks like your control pad. Very protected. This is an outer casing, and this casing's not hard. It's sort of a cardboard casing, but as you can see, it's quite protected inside the box. And then you come to your controller. Now the Nacon controller is not wireless, so it has to be plugged in, which is a downfall, but we'll go through the pros and cons when we get to that part of the video. In terms of the feel of the controller, it feels good. The Nacon really went to town on the design here, and they've got metal thumbsticks. So they are metal underneath, so they're not going to like snap off or break. So what else you get in the box is, if you lift up the bottom layer, it can get a bit confusing now. You get the wire. Now the wire that you get is not a standard wire. It's got like a coating around the wire, so you don't fray it. It doesn't get snapped, and the wires don't come out. So that's really positive. It's just a micro USB, which obviously plugs in to the controller and then into your PlayStation. So you also get the paperwork, which as you can see is still sealed because no one ever uses the paperwork. I don't think I've ever looked at the paperwork in my life. They've also got all of their advertisement on the back there, so I think if you take a photo of your controller next to this and tweet them, they'll probably do a retweet. That's what usually happens. You also, this has never been opened either, but you get a carry case with it, which is really good. It's got the Nacon symbol on it, a big black carry case, which helps out a lot if you're traveling around, or if you're a streamer, or if you're just generally in between places or houses. You don't want to damage your control pad because it's quite pricey. So you can use the carry case with it. It's only a soft case though, it's not a hard case. And what's interesting about this now is you get this box. Now, not many people know what's in the box. Unless you've got one of these controllers, you're probably never going to know, because I was very surprised. What is in the box is weights. Now, the weights, if I just show you, in the bottom of the controller, do you see there is like a symbol there? Like a slot. There we go. So you see the slot there. Basically, you put the tool that you get inside these weights, which is a very cool Nacon key. You put that in the bottom, you open the slots, which sort of bend around rather than actually fully open, so they just like spin around. And then what you do is you just put in the weights in the bottom, however you like them, which is really, really good design. I really like it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So you just put the weights in, and then you can weight your controller. I don't have any weights on my one. All I do is leave it as standard. Just put these weights back in here. I leave it as standard because I like sort of a light controller, but this for you know, esports tournament ready kind of controller, the weights matter for some people. For me personally, I don't mind. So let's now get into what the controller does, or what we can do with this controller, the benefits of having this controller, and obviously we're going to throw in some cons of the controller as well. In terms of benefits to the controller, its design is Xbox design. As you can see, it's an Xbox design, however it is a PlayStation controller. So in terms of that can be a pro or a con. For me, a little bit of a con, because I like the PlayStation style control pad. It's what I've been used to. Even though I do play Xbox One as well as PlayStation, I sometimes prefer just to have the PlayStation controller. However, that being said, when I switch between Xbox and PlayStation, so if I'm streaming on, say, the PlayStation, and then I want to go and play on the Xbox, I'll use this controller on the PlayStation, so I don't have to then sort of jig my hands and get used to using the Xbox controller, especially if I'm doing content or doing videos. It's important that I can get straight into it without messing around, without having to get used to a new controller. So that could be a pro or a con for anyone. Now, this controller can be remapped. So on the back, you have these small paddles. So in, like this, and on the edge here. So one button, two button, one button, two buttons. As you can see, so it goes around the corner. One button, second button. So when you're holding the controller, if you hold it standard, you've got this, so you flick up or down, flick up or down, up or down, up or down. So they're your triggers. Now the good thing about this is there's different settings on this as well. So if you click it across, you can have mode 1, mode 2, and then PC. Now both of these controllers that I'm going to be reviewing both work on PC as well. So they're not just PlayStation controllers, they can be plugged into PC and you can use them to play your PC as well. Now the good thing about this is to remap this, you put it into your PC, so you're going to need a laptop. Now that could be a con as well if you don't have a laptop. However, for me it's a pro because it's easy enough just to download the software when you install it and just change the settings to how you want. The good thing about this controller as well is you can remap the back buttons to these buttons here. So your L1, R1, R2, L2. Whereas on the Scuf, you can't. So you have to rejig the settings within the PlayStation menu. However, we'll go into the Scuf after. The pad overall feels really good. It has a headphone jack in the bottom. It's a sleek design. It's very nice. Like I say, very light. But if you want it to be heavier, you can put the weight in. The lead goes right in here. As you can see from my finger, it goes quite a way in. So it's very much in. And when you're playing the game, I've pulled it a few times and it's not come out. It's very secure inside the controller. It doesn't fall out easily. Now with the remapping, you simply go onto your PC, you'll remap. You can set different profiles. So there's a profile button here which lights up which profile you want. So you can have, I have mine set on like an esports profile where the back buttons here basically just do my med kits and stuff like that. So that's quite cool. And also the trigger buttons on the back here, one is for my L1 and one is for my R1. So my skills basically if you're playing the Division. So it's a really good controller. The very good thing about this controller, I must say, is the price. Now the price is $89.99 in the UK. It's about $100. Now the price of this compared to the Scuf there's a massive difference, a huge difference. The only thing I'd say about this downfall wise, there's no customization available. So you can't customize this controller to how you want it. It's a standard pre-made controller. You can't customize it unless you buy decals and just do it yourself, but I'm not interested in that. I don't really care about that. I just want to play with the controller or get somebody to design it how I want it. Now it feels really good in your hand. The comfort is really good. You can play for hours and hours. I've done streams for hours and hours, even if you do claw style, which I sometimes play, so it makes it a little bit easier. With this you don't really need claw style because you can just use the back pedals. So for anyone really that's just starting out gaming, you can do this, or someone that's used to the Xbox and now wants to play on PlayStation and just doesn't want to swap controllers. So it's a very ideal controller for everything, for all the stuff that you need, all the remapping. Basically, the response time is really good on this controller as well. So it's got a great response and it feels good. Now let's go into some. Good. Now let's go into some of the cons. I've already touched on a few of the cons. One of the cons being that it's an Xbox style, like we keep saying. It might be a con to a PlayStation player having an Xbox style controller. Another con that I found, and now I didn't find this straight off the bat. I found this basically after using it for, I think I used it for a few months. The wire stopped working. I don't know why, I don't know how, it just broke. So now I can't actually use the controller unless I get another micro USB lead, which I do have, but this lead is purpose built for this controller. In terms of the response time of the wire in the lead affects the controller. So if I use a standard micro USB, I'm not going to get the same experience. So this is broke, so that's one big con for me. However, it has been a few months. I don't know how it's happened. It just stopped working one day. Occasionally it will start working again, but then I usually have to like take it out and turn it around and pull it in the other way, flip it over. So it's a bit of a pain, but that is broken. Another con that I found compared to the Scuf is these back buttons. They're too small. For me, I play usually like this, so I have to sort of, it doesn't feel that great. They are easy to press, however, just a little bit too small for me. I prefer the big paddles, and to obviously have a good feel. They do feel clicky, they click well. The two triggers also, they have no physical adjustment on them to make it hairline. However, in the settings on the remapping, you can just touch your R2 and it will fire. It's very much hairline trigger, but without the actual settings. So it's just more of a technical setting in the remapping. So now we're going to go on to doing the Scuf controller. So here is the Scuf controller. I got the Scuf Impact. As you can see, it's in a box again, and you can see the design. This controller can be customized. Now the customization is fun. You can do this on their website, and you see a preview before you purchase it, and then you buy it. So let's get straight into it. So this is PlayStation 4 and PC compatible, as you can see there. You can get these for Xbox as well. Whereas the Nacon is a PS4 exclusive, so you can't buy that for Xbox. So as you can see, you get the Scuf box, which is quite a hard case. When you open the case, it's quite simple. You get your instructions, which we don't need, so we'll put them to the side. And then you get your controller. Now I designed this controller just because I wanted a blue controller, blue and white, and then on the back have the paddles and some effects. This is like a grip, so it feels very like grippy. And obviously you've got the 4 paddles that also are removable, customizable. You can take them off and put different ones on. The triggers on here, if you can see, they have a little mark here where you can turn it to make it a hairline. So if you look now, You see the little trigger there? Basically, that's all my force going down on the trigger there. So it makes it a hairline. So as I was saying, like the Nacon is done via the PC, yet this is done via a little adjustable button. Now, going into the box even more, you're going to get a round tool like this. This tool is to take off your analogs. So you can take off your analogs, remove them, change the outer casing, because on the Scuf controller, option is to have the ring around your analog stick, so it doesn't go too much. So you've got a ring around your analog stick, which helps you with your gameplay. That is simply just to take that ring off. There's 2 grooves. You put it in, twist it, and take it out. And you can also remove the whole lot of this as well. So this is all customizable. What else you get is you get a bag. Now it's got 2 spare triggers, R2 and L2. They are longer triggers and they look different. They're longer and they feel different on the fingers. So if you want to customize it a bit more there. You also then get 2 keys to remap. Now the remapping is magnetic on the back. You just put the key on the back and then remap what buttons. So you select what buttons and the light will flash to indicate that you have remapped. For information on the remapping, I'll put a link in the description below so you can have a look at how to remap. I'll also be bringing out a video on how to remap so you can use your trigger buttons. So there's a setting on the PlayStation you have to go and change, and also you have to change some of the controller layouts. It's a bit complicated to do, but I've got a video on how to do all of that, so you'll be able to do that as well. So let's go into the pros for the Scuf. Now, one of the pros for the Scuf is design. You can customize the Scuf. You can buy other YouTubers or content creators controllers as well. Like I know Ali A has a controller out, and there's quite a lot of people with different controllers. So the design aspect is really good. I like a personalized controller because I know not many people are going to have the same, if any. The weight is very good. For me, it's very light, which is good for me. If you like a heavy controller, don't buy the Scuf because this is very light. It feels like it's very sort of flimsy, but it does the job. It is a strong controller. I've dropped it a couple of times and it's been fine. So the remap keys is another positive. If you don't have a PC or a laptop, you can still remap the controller. You don't have to have access to a PC or a laptop. I know most people will have access now, but maybe you don't. So that's going to be a pro. Feels very good in the hand, and it's a PlayStation layout, which is perfect for the PlayStation player. So it's got everything. It does feel comfortable, even if you're using claw. But as I say, you don't need to use claw because you have your back paddles. This also a pro. I'm going to say it for both controllers anyway. You can use them both on PC, which is a pro to me in all aspects. So looking at the cons, there's not many cons really for the Scuf. One of the cons is the price. Now this is £119, so around $130 I imagine, something around that point. Don't know what the exchange is at the moment, but that's before you customize it. Once you've customized it and you've got the paddles, you've added all of these optional extras, you can be looking at around sort of 160 to 180 pounds, so around $200 plus. So that's a negative for me. I think that's a very overpriced controller for what it does, especially when you have sort of the likes of a Nacon who's offering it for $89.99. Okay, you can't customize it as much, but it still has the functionality of the Scuf. And also another negative that I found, because paying so much for the controller, I expected to get a lead. Now the lead slot is still here. Obviously you can use this wirelessly or you can plug it in, but there's no micro USB lead included. Now for me that's just a small thing that they could have included, just a bit more value for money. They could have included a higher quality one, or just a simple standard PlayStation one that you get with a normal standard PlayStation controller. However, that didn't happen. So that's a bit of a letdown for me. That really is a letdown. in terms of, you know, just customer value, making it more valuable for people. Just add that simple thing. So that is the So that is the pros and cons of both controllers. As you can see, we'll put them next to each other here. Pros and cons of both controllers. I love using both controllers. I really do enjoy using both. The winner of what I prefer, this is my personal opinion. This is not a dig at either company, because they are both really good controllers, and I will be putting the link in the description below how you can purchase each controller. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount code for you guys. I would love to have offered you a discount code, but I believe Scuf do discount codes, but only for esports players, or people that have millions of subs or hundreds of thousands of subs. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount code. And Nacon, I tried to reach out to Nacon a couple of times and had no response at all, so I'm assuming that they don't do that kind of affiliate program. So let's sort of wrap it up here. $89.99, $119.99 before customization. This is a standard controller. Nacon, Xbox layout, PlayStation 4 layout. Comes with a lead because you need a lead. So that might be why this comes with a lead, because you have to have a lead because it's not wireless. You can see I'm trying to turn it on, it's not wireless. The Scuf controller is wireless and wired, so you can use either, which is perfect. Both work on PC, both are remappable with the triggers on the back. Both have hair triggers. Nacon edging on the design, having a metal thumbsticks rather than just the cheap plastic ones. But overall, I've got to say that my favourite of the two is the Scuf. Now, that's only because I'm a PlayStation 4 player more than anything. But I just love the PlayStation 4 layout, and I like the paddles more on the Scuf. Apart from that, everything else edges towards the Nacon. So I'm not throwing this down, I'm not talking it down. The Nacon is an absolutely incredible controller. For $89.99, you are not going to get a better controller than this. If you look at the Razer Raju, there's a few other controllers. Astro have just bought a controller right now, which I'm going to get my hands on and do a review on that as well. But generally, I love this Nacon controller. If it was only PlayStation layout and the paddles on the back were better. I mean, for an exclusive PlayStation controller, why is it laid out like an Xbox controller? I don't know. But guys, thank you so much for watching the video. All of the descriptions to everything I've said is in the description below. I'll put some links in there where you can buy the Nacon or you can buy the Scuf. If you've got any questions about the controller that I haven't covered, write in the comments below. I do reply to all of the comments. Now guys, thank you for watching this. This has been my first review video, so I apologise for the quality of the camera. I know it's a little bit blurry at points. However, I just need to work my way up to get the proper equipment. This is just done on my streaming equipment, which is not ideal for this kind of video. But I just wanted to do a video to compare the both. So thank you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Give me a massive thumbs up or a thumbs down. And hit that subscribe button if you are new. I will be doing a lot more review videos and some unboxing videos as well, so you can see the new gear, new items, and new technology that's coming out, as well as some other pieces. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.